Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine and this is the Blind Pomegranate Tarot. And if you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, hi, how you been? I'm glad you came back. So if you're new here, let me explain what happens on Coffee Talk Tuesday. This is Armenian coffee. In the bottom of this are some very finely ground coffee grounds. At the end of our talk, I'm going to finish off this very thick coffee. There will be coffee grounds in the bottom, and I'm going to teach you, as my great-grandmother taught me, how to read the coffee grounds. And this will help you to grow your intuition. So what are we talking about today? Today, we are actually just going to delve right into tarot and oracle cards. And we're going to talk about what tarot is, what it's not, but more specifically, we're going to talk about some of the ways that you can connect with a deck if you want to read for yourself or for others. And I'm going to show you some of my favorites and how I connect with them and how I associate different tarot and oracle decks to different types of readings. So that's what we're going to do today. So I'm going to take a quick sip of the coffee and we'll get started on that. I hope you have your coffee or wine or whatever. It's 5 o'clock somewhere, am I right? And that's good and thick. And yeah, I'm going to have to chew on that one. But let's start with what tarot is. Okay, I think there might be there's some confusion out there about what tarot actually is. And really, tarot is a tool for someone who can channel, someone who uses their intuition, someone who is sometimes a medium or a clairvoyant or clairsentient, that sort of thing. And it really, for me especially, it's a tool. It's a tool for me to channel messages to those who need to hear it, are looking for some guidance and that sort of thing. But what tarot is not is something that should rule your life. It's not something that should make decisions for you. When you have a tarot reading or you go to a pick a card like I do, it is something that is meant to help remind you of maybe what you've forgotten, to help point you in the direction that your guides want you to go in. But it is absolutely not something that should rule your life or tell you how you should live. You have free will. You should live your life as you see fit. But tarot can be a helpful tool to enlighten you, maybe connect you closer to your guides, to your ancestors, to your higher self even. And so that's really what tarot is. It's storytelling, basically. It's storytelling about who you are, maybe which direction you should go in, but it is never there to tell you how to live your life. That is up to you. Okay? So let's delve deeper into actually picking tarot, picking a deck, picking an oracle cards, which can be a great way of sort of deepening the story, right? You have a premise of the story, which is your tarot deck, and then you have the characters, which is oracle. That's how I see them. And when I'm doing a reading, I will pick different oracle decks as they associate to whatever the question is. If you go back and you look at my last pick a card, it was past life love reading and the lessons that you learned in those lives about love that you can apply to this life. Okay, so when I pick a deck, I pick it as it associates to whatever the question is for that day, whatever the pick a card is that I'm doing, or if I'm doing a private reading, I do the same thing. So I hope you guys have some coffee and I'm not the only one drinking or whatever you want. So let me start with a tarot deck, okay? This one happens to be my favorite. And it's the Wild Unknown series. I really enjoy her decks a lot. I have the tarot deck, which is one that I use the most. And I also have her archetype cards, and I also have her spirit animal cards. And let me open this up, and I'll show you why I enjoy this deck so much. It's unusual in that it... when she has like a king or queen, okay, it is in this deck, mother and father. So when I'm doing a reading and I'm reading about a specific family members or that sort of thing, or even relationship things, that sort of thing, I like to use this because it really is sort of centered around family and the idea of family, and it sort of breaks it down that way. And so I really enjoy her cards a lot in that sense. Now, there's traditional Rider-Waite, and you can use those if you're looking for more specific, or excuse me, more generalized questions and that sort of thing. But this is the tarot deck that I go to the most. Now, having said that, okay, if you are a reader, you're reading for yourself or you're reading for others, it's very, very important that you are connected to that deck for yourself. Not because I said this is my favorite deck, so you should run right out and get it. No, absolutely not. Many, many times let me back up. When I go to pick a tarot deck or an oracle deck, I will actually meditate on them. Is this one right for me? Am I feeling the right vibration from this deck? Because if you're not connected to those cards, you'll never get a correct reading. You'll never get the answer that you're looking for if you're not fully connected to that deck. Now, I have purchased an oracle deck before. I was looking for an astrology deck, and I had somebody give me advice about which ones I should buy, and I bought it. And I didn't meditate on it, and I didn't sit back and really think about it, and I didn't ask, is this the right deck for me? And when I got it, I could never ever connect to it, and I couldn't understand why. So what I did was I actually asked the deck. I took the deck, I said, why is it that I can't connect to you? And the card that came flying out was imbalance, which means I was not balanced. I was not equal to that deck. I was not in touch with that deck. I was not connected to it. And I never would be, because it just wasn't meant for me. That's not to say that the deck was bad. It's not to say that the advice was bad. It just didn't connect to me. So what I did is I passed it on to someone else who could enjoy it. So you see here I have some sage, and I will always sage a deck. And when just to clear out its energy, so that the only energy that's in that deck is mine, and no one is allowed to touch my deck. They all know that about me now. Everybody knows don't touch your cards, right? Because I like it to have my energy on it, and I need to be connected to it fully. I did a short video, a sort of ASMR video, if you guys want to go back and look at it, about how I connect to my decks once I get them, and how I run them through my hands, how I feel them, how I sort of hone in on their energy, and so I can touch every single one. And I do that for a good 30 minutes or so. But it's important to me because it's how I connect fully with those cards. It's not just about looking at the cards and seeing the cards and reading the imagery on them, but it's actually being able to feel the energy on them and how you will connect and how you will intuitively connect to them. I find that really, really important. So we've talked about tarot here, and there are many different tarot decks. I would suggest that you do the same. Really think about it, really meditate on it, really touch them and understand them. If you can see them in person, that helps, but that's not absolutely necessary. If you're using your intuition when you're picking out a deck, you don't need to have it in front of you. And you don't have to buy from any specific place. All shops and even Amazon and occult shops and that sort of thing have access to the same cards. Okay, so the point of it is that you need to connect with it once you get it. Okay, and if you can't connect with it, pass it on to someone you can. Okay, so here we have, and if you've ever seen my introductory video, my trailer for my channel, you will have seen me bring out this pile of cards. Now, these are regular playing cards. These are what my great-grandmother used to use. Rarely do I use them. Almost never do I use these in readings, because they're very precious to me. They're quite old, and you can see from some of them, if I ran through them here, they're taped together. That's how sort of fragile they are, and how sort of completely in touch with her deck she was. You can see that it's more than just one group of playing cards. And she taped them together, and they were valuable to her. She was a psychic, okay, and so she got a lot of visions, and that's really, she taught me how to do the coffee grounds as well. But you can use, if you don't want to start, if you're just starting out and you don't want to go and invest in say a bunch of decks, tarot and a whole bunch of oracles, because you're not sure, right? You're not sure what might happen. You're not sure how, if you're even something that this is something that you can actually do or you really want to do. Then don't. Get yourself a regular thing of playing cards. You probably even have some in your house, and just use them. Just start playing with them. And I'm going to show you how. I'll actually put a link down below to some information on how to use them. But so here's how they associate. This is hearts, right? And hearts would associate to cups in tarot, okay? Cups and the water sign. So hearts are cups on water. Spade, okay, is swords. Swords in the tarot, swords and air, okay, is the spades. The club, okay, is wands. Wands are fire. Wands in the tarot, clubs are wands in the tarot and fire. And finally, diamonds. Diamonds are pentacles. Pentacles are earth. Pentacles in the tarot, diamonds, pentacles in tarot and earth. And that's how it, now there are no major arcana, of course, in a regular playing card deck, but you can absolutely still do a reading using just these cards, and use your intuition. Of course, this is probably the best way, I think, for you to start, if you're just starting out, to sort of practice your intuition when it comes to reading cards. This is a really great way of doing it, is starting with playing cards and seeing if you can feel the energy of the major arcanas in a regular set of playing cards. I think that's a wonderful way to start. So maybe skip getting yourself a tarot deck at first and start with playing cards and see how that works out for you. It may actually be the best way for you to go about it. So, but you can absolutely do a reading without having major arcanas. Okay, so those are a couple of ways of using tarot decks. So I'm going to show you some of my favorite oracle cards, and then I'm going to tell you how I use them in my readings. Now, I will use very specific decks for very specific readings, like I said with my past life readings. Now, you may be someone who can very easily do certain types of readings, okay? Like I do only love readings, or I do only connecting with your angels readings, that sort of thing. And I believe that every single reader has something that they're really sort of in tune to being able to do. For me, it's past lives. I can and enjoy doing past life readings very, very much. I always do a meditation download for information about the querent, but I enjoy doing past life readings very much. So try different kinds and see which one really resonates for you if you are looking to read for other people. If you're looking to read for yourself, well, of course, that's a whole different animal, but if you're looking to read for others, maybe try and figure out what is your forte, if you will, okay? So let me show you a couple of my favorite oracle decks, the ones that I go to quite a bit, because they can be used sort of in many different types of readings. And one of my favorites is the archetype deck. The Akashic Records deck, oracle deck. And this one in particular, here, I'll show you the box. This is one of my favorites. I use it all the time. And I especially use it in my past life readings because it helps me to pull information from the Akashic Records. Now, I do that as a meditation download as it is, but this is a way of telling, right, the information, using it as a tool to, put that anywhere, to convey the information that I've been given. And so I really, really enjoy this deck quite a bit, and I use it a lot. Okay, so that's one of my favorites. Now this oracle deck can be really applied to just about any type of reading, even if you're looking to connect with past loved ones for somebody, if you're looking to do a psychic reading, in other words, a future reading, that sort of thing. Akashic Records decks are really, really great in that sense. So I use it quite a bit. I've got a big pile of oracles over here, so give me a second to pull them all out. Now, this is a really unusual deck, and I don't think I've ever seen another reader who uses it. But something about it really resonated for me, and I used this for Women's History Month. I did a video for Women's History Month, and I used this deck. Now, this is... it's called Literary Witches, but it has cards in it that tell the story of some really famous, and maybe even authors you haven't heard of, women through history who have just done remarkable things, especially in writing and that sort of thing. And it's very unique. And so I use these, like I said, in Women's History Month, but I will use these as inspiration oracle deck, something to inspire people. It's very unusual, and it can be used in a couple of different ways, but generally if I'm doing a reading for maybe a very feminine type reading, I hate to say that, but it does seem to be, it can feel exclusionary, but they're very strong women. And so if I'm looking to get very strong feminine type of messages, I will use this deck. I will also at the same time use decks that are, let's say I'm doing that type of reading where I'm looking to get some very feminine type of energy, feminine type of advice. I will also use decks that I'm asking advice from the Divine Feminine. Okay, so I'll use, sometimes I'll use my Moonology deck, but in general I will look for, here we go, like this one, the Sacred Mother and Goddess deck, right? So I might use those two together to pull some very sort of divine feminine energy, if that's what I'm looking for. Do you see where I'm going? Okay. Let's see. And again, yes, I'm showing you these, but this doesn't necessarily mean that these will resonate for you. So don't run right out and buy them. Maybe sit and think about them for a while. Now, if I'm doing a reading, okay, and I'm looking into people's energy, or maybe if they're having some conflict in their energy, maybe they need to cleanse their energy and that sort of thing, I will definitely pull out chakra cards, crystal cards, but these are energy cards, and I really enjoy these a lot. Now this is kind of I think there's a lot of people who actually have this deck, but I really enjoy this one quite a bit if I'm looking into someone's energy, maybe even energies that are coming your way, maybe energies that are blocking you, that sort of thing. I do use this deck quite a bit. Is that upside down? No. Okay. And again, it's storytelling, right? This will give you guidance of information. It will help you to, let's say, as I do, you've done a meditation and you've pulled information as a download, right? For any particular reading that you're doing. What these cards can do then is sort of trigger that in your subconscious and bring it to the forefront so you can start discussing it. Okay, discussing the information that you got as your download, whether it be from your angels, whether it be from your spirit guides, whether it be from the Querent spirit guides, or from the Akashic records. Okay, and so you can use this just as a sort of a trigger, right, to bring to the forefront of your subconscious the information that you've downloaded and that needs to be shared. Okay, so I do use that quite a bit, but I will use that mostly in just exactly as it says, in energy work. So that can be kind of broadly used. A lot of times when I'm doing it, I will use crystal deck, right? It has crystals in it and that sort of thing, especially if you're looking maybe to clear somebody's energy or help them to understand what energy is heading towards them or what energy might be holding them back, that sort of thing. So that's how I will use it. So I have quite a few decks, but I ask a lot of spirit, and I ask a lot of different types. So this is just me. This is not something that you necessarily have to worry about for yourself. Now, this is a deck that I use for past lives. I use this one quite a bit. Like I said, past life readings is something that really resonates for me, and it seems to come very easily for me. More easily than, say, a love reading. As you guys know, I really don't do them because I don't love them. I don't connect with that type of energy. There are many wonderful readers out there who do that. It's just not something that I easily connect with because personally, it just, to me, feels like something that I don't need to mess with. Okay? So, and this was I'll show you this deck. Now, finding a past life deck can be very, very difficult. There's not a lot of them out there. So I will get sort of creative with them. I have a Sacred Earth deck that I use quite a bit. Maybe that will tell me where somebody has come from in their past life. This is the deck. Right side up would probably help you more. But, so, I will get creative in that way. And that since I don't have any necessarily direct oracle cards that tell me exactly who you were and that sort of thing, I will use others that will help me to direct you in a way. You can go back and watch the past, this last pick a card that I did. It will help to direct you in a way that will give you the correct advice about what you learned in that past life. Oop, I am so sorry. I'm trying a new setup and it's a little bit wobbly. I apologize. I hope that didn't make you sick. Okay, so let's say I am doing a reading. This is a new deck that I got that I've tried a couple of times. And I'm trying to figure out where a new deck that I felt resonated with me, and so I purchased it. And I'm trying to figure out what that deck best applies to in a reading. I will try a deck in many different ways. Now, this is, as you can see, it's Kitchen Witch. And so these cards are about herbs and the meanings behind them, and even sometimes the way that they can be used. I have another deck that does that as well. And what this will, so by taking a deck, right, and using it in different types of readings, then I can kind of figure out where that deck belongs. What gives me the best information out of that deck? Now, in my, interesting, okay, in this last pick a card that I did, it was past life love lessons, right? This card actually came out, so I guess maybe I didn't shuffle this before I put them back in there. But when I was reading for this particular pile that it came up in, the message in it was that love was sort of a thorn, a pain, a grief in this past life, and that it was important. When I was pulling information, right, as this was guiding me, I heard the words, pull the thorn, right, of the rose bush out of you. Pull that thorn of grief about love out of you. And that was something that had been resonating over and over again through many lifetimes. And so the message was, not all love is painful. Okay, not all love is a thorn. Not all love hurts. And that was the message. And that's what I got from this particular card. So I had never used this deck before. And I think that this one is going to be something I go to quite a bit because I felt very much that I could use it in many different ways. And so I think I'll continue to try this deck. I know that when I purchased it, I thought, oh, I really, really like that. What is it about that deck that talks to me, that speaks to me, that resonates for me? And it was definitely something. So I think I might end up seeing this one quite a bit in my readings. So we're going to definitely try that one again. And I did buy other herbal books as well, and so, or herbal decks as well. And so maybe one day, and I actually did, I think I used this one when I did, a pick a card a couple of weeks ago about body, mind, and spirit. I think I used this during the body pick a card, and what spirit wants you to do to sort of take care of yourself. And so I think I used it then, and this is a really beautiful deck as well. So like I said, if you have something in specific in mind that you're trying to ask for, having multiple different kinds of oracle decks is very, very helpful. However, if you're only reading for yourself, that's not necessary. Okay, pick one or two that really mean something to you. Pick one or two that really resonates for you. Pick one or two that can maybe day to day tell you something new and different that can help you, if that's what you're using oracle or tarot for. So here is another deck that I purchased. Now this one I thought was very interesting, and I have used it, and I use it many, many times in my past life readings. But I think that this one can be used in many different ways. Now this is Soul's Journey, and I see it and use it for myself as sort of messages for your past life. What did you learn, right? What is the overriding message here? And so I use it quite a bit in my past life readings, but you can see that they're very much associated with the different kinds of chakras, right? By the colors and that sort of thing. So if you're doing something, a reading or for yourself, and you're trying to work out energy and that sort of thing, maybe this type of deck, a chakra deck, one that is, gives you all the information of how that might, how you can, what am I trying to say here? How you can use the chakras, use your own, cleanse your own. Maybe yourself or the querent has questions about that. You can use it in that way as well. Okay, so, but for me, I use it as for past life. What is the ultimate message in a past life reading? I don't think that that's what this was meant for, but that's just how it helps me, and that's just how it resonates for me. That's just how I see it. Okay, so it may be very, very different for you, but for me, that's how I feel it. So if you see a deck like I just showed you with the Kitchen Witch, and you think, well, that can only be used for readings that you're doing for witches or pagans or Wiccans, it's not true. You need to kind of sit with it, meditate with it, and even practice with it, and see which type of reading that really resonates or works for you. And it may be something totally different than what you think it is. Okay, so I keep bumping this. I'm very sorry, guys. Hope I'm not making you sick. So now I, of course, have a lot of decks, but you know, this is what I do, right? Again, you really don't need more than just regular playing cards. You really don't, especially if you're only reading for yourself. But, you know, when my great-grandmother was doing this, she didn't have all of these oracle decks. She didn't have all of this additional information. She really had to use her own intuition and her own psychic abilities, and really grew with it that way. Okay, so we have gotten to the bottom of the cup here. So for those of you who are new, let me explain what's going to happen. I'm going to turn this cup upside down in the saucer. And then I'm going to turn it 3 times clockwise. That's 1. Hold still, please. 2. 1 more. That's 3. And I'm going to let that sit. And we will come back to it. In the end, I am going to show you how to use your intuition to read, easy for me to say, intuition, to read the coffee grounds and see what your intuition is telling you. So, let's see, we have astrology. This now, excuse excuse me, the coffee is thick. Now, when I was telling you earlier about how I was looking for an astrology deck and I went off the advice of someone else, and I absolutely trust that person. I still trust that person. I absolutely do. But I did not meditate on that deck, sit back and listen to my own intuition about that deck. And so I ended up passing it on to somebody else. And when I finally sat down and just went, I'm just going to look for one for myself that I know I will love, I found this one. And I really connected with this deck. This one really resonates for me. And I use it a lot. And I use it in many different kinds of readings. Okay. Yes, it's an astrology deck. Yes, it's astrological. And you can absolutely, of course, if you're doing an astrology, let's say you're doing a reading for a Libra or an Aries or a Gemini or something like that, that of course, then you would go to this deck, right? But I use this in almost every kind of reading because I resonate so closely with it, because I vibe so closely with it, because it reads to me, it breathes for me. I connect to it so closely that I can use it in virtually anything. Okay, so if you have just a tarot deck right now, or you have just a set of playing cards and you're looking for one oracle deck that you can use in any reading, whether it be for yourself or somebody else, really take your time. Really sit back and think about it. Really sit back and meditate on it before you purchase it. And you may find that that particular deck that you get, regardless of what it is, it could be a soul's journey, it could be an astrological deck, it could be a crystal deck, right? Where it's crystals and it's talking simply about crystals. If you connect very, very closely to it, then you can use it in any way. Okay? So do not go out and spend a whole bunch of money because this can be a very pricey, whoop. See, that's how many decks I have. They're falling over at this point. This can be a very pricey thing if you are doing this for a living and you're spending your money on these things. And they can be a little bit addicting as well. So just be careful of that. So lastly here, I'm just going to show you guys one more oracle deck that I would use for readings to interpret messages and that sort of things. And that is my wisdom deck. I really enjoy this one and use it almost all of the time. And of course, it's exactly as it says it is. It's a wisdom deck, right? It has some very wise information in it. But again, when I use a deck, I use it to pull out of my subconscious the information that I have downloaded during my meditation. And for me, this deck really works to do that. Whoop, where are you going? Come back here. And so I do come to it quite a bit. I use it quite a lot. That doesn't mean that that's right for you. So again, really think long and hard before you purchase a deck. They're not necessarily expensive. Most of them are right around $20. But, some of the more unique ones can be $30, $40, even $50. So you just take your time. Start small and work your way up if that's something that you find yourself really drawn to do. Okay, now after every Coffee Talk Tuesday, after we read the read the coffee grounds, which we will do here in a second, I always pull an affirmation. And, affirmations are great. There's something that, if you want to keep a little affirmation deck, I love this one. It's so cute. If you want to keep one by your nightstand, and by your bed, wherever, and, read it, pull one every morning, because they're positive affirmations. And who can't use that? Everyone can, right? These are just really cute, and it's very small, and it just fits very easily into a drawer, and they have lovely messages in them, and all affirmation decks do. There are some that are deeper than others, and some that have greater information, and so I will use them in my readings, but most of the time, this is something that I pull just for a little bit of happiness and sunshine in your life, and kind of get your day started in the right way. So I'll go ahead and do that for us today. We'll see what pops out, and then we will read the coffee grounds. But again, if you want to start this, if you have never tried before, if you're looking, I'm so sorry. I'm going to get a better setup, guys, I promise. If you are looking to start and you've never done it before, get yourself some playing cards and see what you can learn from that. Of course, read all about tarot and how they, each suit, okay, has different information, right? They all, and the different numbers, they all hold some different information. A Two of Wands is going to be far different from a Five of Swords, okay? So, do a little bit of research about that. But also, it's really super important for you to connect with your intuition. The best way to do that, of course, is always meditation, talking to your spirit guides, connecting, raising your vibration. The more you do it, it's like practicing at anything. I'm so sorry. It's, hang on. It's like practicing at anything. Sorry about that. I think Amazon was delivering something. What else is new at this house? Back to the cards. It's like connecting or doing anything in life. The more you practice and study at it, the better you get at it. But you have to have that sort of skill in the first place, right? Some of the greatest violinists in the world, they've already sort of got that talent within them, right? It's a sort of a soul connection to the music. It's the same kind of thing. So if you're feeling, here we go, if you're feeling really, really drawn to tarot, then study it. Take the time to find out about it. But don't take it so seriously that you sort of stifle what's natural inside of you already. Okay, for the sake of being a typical tarot reader or being someone, you're not following the rules. There are no rules, okay? There just aren't, because tarot is about your intuition. Tarot is about channeling information, and that's never the same for anyone. Now, if you come across a tarot reader who says to you, I'm 100% right all the time, run for your life, because no, they're not. They're human beings, and we are all human beings who have egos. We try very hard not to, but you have your own way of thinking. And so you can't not always be right. We make mistakes. Absolutely. Everybody does. And that's why I say, if you're ever doing a pick a card or you're having your cards read and something doesn't resonate for you, do not try and make it fit. And the same goes for reading for yourself, or the same goes for you reading for somebody else. If you pull a card from a deck and you're like, this doesn't make any sense to me, I don't feel it at all, I'm not resonating with this at all, put it back in the deck. Every time I pull a card, and you can see from my, I have some ASMR videos in there of just me doing the shuffle, and I will put that at the end of all of my pick-a-cards, so you can actually watch me do the shuffle. When I pull a card out, and before I set it in front of a particular number or crystal or however I'm doing it, I put my hand over it and I ask Spirit, is this correct? If I get a no, it goes right back into the deck. Okay, so just because the card came flying out doesn't necessarily mean it's the right thing. It could just be that you dropped the cards, okay? So I always ask, is this correct? Most of the time it will be yes, because I only take cards that flip or fall out, okay? That's not necessarily how you have to do it. That's how I do it. Some readers will just pull and they'll find a card, and that's the one that they go with because that's what their intuition is telling them to do. So everybody does it a little bit differently too. Don't let anybody tell you that the way you do it is wrong, okay? And that's something that you really have to learn over time. Practice is important. Having their intuition sort of in line is very, very important. And do a little meditation beforehand. See how that works. You know what? Pull a card without meditating, then pull a card after meditating, and see if you feel differently. See if you read something different in it. See if you feel something different in it. And then you can find out that way as well if meditation is the right route for you. Okay? So let's see. What did we get here? We have breathe. Okay. It says slow down and contemplate the tea or the coffee. Violets and ivy tangled around the eaves. That's interesting. Take a deep breath, which is exactly what we're going to do right now. Thank you very much, Spirit, for guiding us there. They're like, you're talking too much, get on with it. Okay, so here's what we're going to do for those of you who are new here. We are going to do a little deep breath, okay? And we're going to sit back into our intuition and open ourselves up so that when I turn the cup over, you can see exactly what you need to see. Now, here's the thing. You can never, ever, ever read this incorrectly, okay? Whatever comes to you first is the right answer, okay? So you need to learn to trust yourself, and that's one of the things that we're going to learn by doing this. This is what we do. When we read the coffee grounds, we are practicing our intuition and we are putting it into experience, okay? So whatever comes to you first, you need to listen to it. That's the correct answer. And the more you do this, the more you practice, just like anything else, the more you will trust in your own intuition because it's already there. You just need to trust it, okay? So here's what we're going to do. We're going to put our feet flat on the floor. We're going to put our hands in our laps with our palms up. What this is going to do is it's going to root us to the earth and open us to the universe. We're going to take a deep breath in through our nose for 5. We're going to hold it at the top for 2. And we're going to push it out our mouth like blowing through a straw for 3. And what that's going to do is it's going to bring in fresh energy and push out the old. And this way you can sit back into your intuition so you can see what you need to see in the grounds, okay? And then we're going to trust ourselves, okay? All right. So I'm going to start with you now. Okay, let's see what we see, shall we? Now, I'm going to tell you guys later in the comments what it is that I see, and I would very much like it if you would do the same. Tell me in the comments what you actually see. I'm going to keep turning the cup, but you tell me what you see. Remember, go with the very, very first thing that comes to your mind, okay? Don't question it. Don't go back over it again and again. Trust yourself. That is how you will start to trust your intuition. Trust that you know what's right. It's very interesting. Okay, go around one more time for you guys. Wow, that was an interesting one. Okay, so in a couple of days, I will absolutely put down below what it is that I saw, but I want you to put it down there as well. Leave me a comment. Let me know what you saw, because in doing so, we are sort of affirming to the universe, yes, this is what I saw. Yes, thank you for the information. Yes, I acknowledge it. Okay, so when you actually say it out loud and you put it down and you write it in your journal and you acknowledge what you are actually seeing and you acknowledge your own intuition, that will help it grow as well. So that was an interesting one. I'm enjoyed very much sharing my decks with you. And if you have any questions about using a deck or picking the right one or that sort of thing, absolutely let me know. I'd love to talk to you about it. Until then, I will see you on Thursday for our pick a card. And I think we're going to talk about energies. What do you think? Let's talk about energies. We'll break out that energy oracle deck, and I'll sit back and see which other ones will work for us, right? In meditation, we'll see. Okay, guys, it was fun. I enjoyed this very much, sharing my decks with you guys. I'm sorry about the barky dogs and the shaky camera. Oh, Lordy, I'll get my stuff together one day. Okay, thanks for joining me if you're new here. If you're not new here, I can't wait to see you guys again. I love it when you guys come to see me. If you can, go ahead and subscribe for me, please. And hit that notification bell so that you can be the first in line for the pick a card. And I'll see you guys on Thursday. Bye. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. How are you today? Are you good? I'm good. I'm shaky. I've had so much coffee. And I can't seem to figure out how to get this in the frame. Hello, glasses. Why are you there? What? Good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. Is it morning? I don't think it is anymore because I had to start late because there's too many people in my house. I have a little itty bitty tiny house. It's only about that big, and there's a lot of people here. Good. Pull yourself together, freak. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. How are you today? I'm good. I'm high as a kite, and I poured this coffee, and it was like syrup. So, yeah, say a prayer for me. I'm gonna have to chew this coffee. Hi, Mary Jane. What are you doing, honey? There's lots of dogs and people in my house. And yes, my brother's dog is Mary Jane. Yes, I live in Oregon, and yes, people smoke pot here. I don't. I probably should. That might help me a lot, actually. What were we talking about? Hi, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. Today, we are going to talk about tarot and oracles. I'm missing something. What am I missing? I should be saying something else. Subscribe. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. If you're new here, welcome. It's very nice to meet you. If you're not new here, well, pull up your coffee or your wine or whatever you want to do, because I don't judge. I just don't. Am I supposed... Pull up. It's not like pulling up your pants. What is happening? You can pull up. You can... I pulled that. I don't know. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine, and this is Blind Pomegranate Tarot. If you are new here on Tuesdays, we talk over coffee. This is Armenian coffee. They're really thick because it's coffee stuff. And actually, that's super thick. I don't know. God. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine, and this is the Blind Pomegranate Tarot. Welcome if you're new here. If you're not new here, hi, welcome back. So glad to see you. Always happy to see you. I'm high as a kite because I've already had a whole bunch of coffee. But I'm going to have some more. So that's happening. I got an itch. Hang on. Okay. Got it. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. Hello, good morning, and welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. How are you? This is Christine, and I'm talking really, really fast because I've had way too much coffee. Yeah, baby, yeah. Blah, 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 blah. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine, and this is the Blind Pomegranate Tarot. And if you're new here, every Tuesday we get together and we talk over coffee and stuff. Hello, welcome to Blind Pomegranate Tarot. I am Christine. Hello, that was creepy. Oh my God, that was creepy. No. Hello, and welcome to Blind Pomegranate Tarot. I am Christine, and this is Coffee Talk Tuesday. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, hey, how you been? I'm talking really fast. What's wrong with me? I need to go to decaf. Slow down. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk. Now I'm talking too slowly. Hello, good morning. Welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. It's Tuesday. Because, that's okay. Hello, welcome to someplace. Hello, welcome to Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine and this is Blind Pomegranate Tarot. If you're new here, welcome. I'm so glad you came. It's nice to meet you. If you're not new here, well, I hope you have your coffee or your wine or, whatever time of day it is. If you're new here, I'm going to pull myself together because I don't have a lot of time. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine and this is the Blind Pomegranate Tarot. If you're new here, welcome. How are you? Nice to meet you. If you're not new here, well, I hope you have your coffee or your glass of wine or, whatever. It's 5 o'clock somewhere. So today, if you're new here, let me explain. Today, we're talking, or I'm trying to, because, hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. How are you guys? If you're new here, welcome. This is, did I say it? Did I say this is, no. Hello, it's Coffee Talk Tuesday. Hey, hi. Let me see something. What, my marbles, maybe? I don't know. Hello, welcome to Blind Pomegranate Tarot. This is Coffee Talk Tuesday. If you're new here, welcome. If you're not new here, hi guys, how you been? So if you're new here, what are we talking about today? Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine, and this is the Blind Pomegranate Tarot. And if you're new here, hi. If you're not new here, welcome back. I'm so glad you guys came. But if you're new here, let me tell you what's happening. Crazy is what's happening. Hello, welcome to Coffee Talk Tuesday. I am Christine, and this is the Blind Pomegranate Tarot. And today well, hello is how you... Hello, welcome to Blind Pomegranate Tarot. That was so weird. That was like creepy clown weird. Hello, I have a balloon for you, little girl. Oh my God. Oof.